Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to add and subtract rational expressions when they have the same denominator and when they don't have the same denominator. So let's go ahead and get started right here with 3 examples. Remember, the word rational expressions means expressions that have fractions in them. In this case, in example number 1, we have 3x over x plus 9 plus 18 minus x over x plus 9. Please note again, we have the same denominator, and so what we need to do when we have the same denominator is we just bring over the denominator, which in this case is x plus 9, and we're going to add or subtract. In this case, we're going to add 3x plus 18 minus x, and then we just simplify whatever that gives us. So in this case, it's going to be 2x plus 18, because combining like terms, 3x and negative x makes 2x over x plus 9. This would be our answer if there's nothing else to do, nothing else to simplify. But if you notice on the numerator, 2x and 18, I should say, 2x and 18, I got that wrong. Both of these numbers have a 2, and they're both divisible by 2, so we factor out the 2, and we get 2 times x plus 9 over x plus 9. And dividing out the like terms, we have an x plus 9 on both top and bottom. If you divide a number by itself, you get 1. So this simplifies to a simple 2. And so whenever you could simplify, you simplify. If you do simplify, notice how the x plus 9 and the x plus 9 divide. So we say that that simplifies to a 2 as long as x is not negative 9, because if x was negative 9, then we would have division by 0, and that's not allowed. So the answer is simply 2, except, we have to write x cannot be equal to 9, or negative 9, I should say. Okay, so this is the first example. If you end up with a fraction that can't be simplified, then that would be your answer. In this case, that would be it right there. But because we could simplify, we take it a little more far away with that simplifying. Okay, so let's take a look at example number 2. Notice how we have the same denominator. We keep the denominator. We don't do anything with it whenever we have the same denominator. And we just subtract. In this case, we're going to subtract the two numerators. Be careful when you do subtraction, though. I'm going to advise you to do the following. Just write minus and then write the whole thing in parentheses. So then you could distribute that negative here and here, and you write one more step right here. So it will be 2x plus 5 minus x plus 7, because negative times negative makes a positive. Combining like terms, 2x and negative x are like terms, so it will be x. 5 plus 7 makes a total of 12, and then you get x minus 2 on the bottom, and that would be the simplified answer because we can't divide anything out. I'm going to make a little note right here. One of the most common mistakes that students make at this point, or something like this, they would want to divide the x with the x, but we can't do that because there is a plus and a minus right after them, and so we can't divide that way. So this right here is the simplified answer. Okay, so again, when we have the same denominator, it's as simple as doing this. Notice on the next one, we have a much more complicated denominator, but still it's the same. So what we do here is the same thing we did on the previous ones. We just write that denominator down. We don't add it, we don't subtract it, we don't multiply, we don't do anything with it, because we're writing fractions with the same denominator. We just bring it over. And so at this point, I'll do the same thing I did on my other one, which is write this down and then distribute, or write this in parentheses so I could remember to distribute that negative. And now we're going to get an x plus 8 minus 2x plus 4 over x squared plus 9x plus 11. And you're going to end up with negative x plus 12, because x and negative 2x makes negative x. 8 and 4 makes 12 over x squared plus 9x plus 11. And that would be the simplified answer due to that we can't simplify either the numerator or the denominator. All right, so this is how you add and subtract fractions or rational expressions when they have the same denominator. On the next video, we will see what happens if we have expressions that don't have the same denominator. All right, so one more time, take a look at the 3 examples we just did. If you could simplify after you add or subtract, simplify, like in example 1. In the next 2 examples, you couldn't do that, so we are finished with that. Please watch the next video on how to add and subtract rational expressions when they don't have the same